By 2001, Linkin Park had swiftly and skillfully amassed legions of fans. On the low-key hilariously titled DVD Frat Party at the Pankaki Festival, one unnamed shirtless fan sums up the band's appeal: "They're the shit because there's nobody else that's better than them." Statistically speaking, he was correct. The band's debut, Hybrid Theory, sold nearly 5 million copies that year, bolstered by non-stop radio and MTV play, and became the best-selling album of 2001. Linkin Park seized the moment, landing the Ozfest main stage that summer in the midst of a global tour. Nearly 90 shows across 4 continents, that's a lot of time on the tour bus. How were these 6 young musicians, who blended hip-hop and electronic elements into their industrial hard rock, to spend it? They kept working. Using a homemade mobile studio in the back of their bus, producer-songwriter Mike Shinoda, a Pro Tools surgeon, kept tinkering with Hybrid Theory and eventually recast its harshness as something more subterranean. The following summer, that patchwork came alive as the remix album Reanimation, released 15 years ago on July 30, 2002. Reanimation plays like an alternate reality Hybrid Theory, headphones music for staring out the bus window. Notably, it splices the band's trademark broiling screams from Chester Bennington, who died on July 20, and whose raw vocals defined early hits In the End and Crawling for More Rhymes. And not just from Shinoda, the group's MC, but via a cadre of underground rappers, the kind not likely on the radar of the prototypical Linkin Park fan in 2002. Jurassic 5's Charlie Tuna, Faraway Monk, and The Roots' Black Thought all feature on beats crafted by guest producers like Alchemist, Evidence, and DJ Babu. They inspired Shinoda. This is how he paid tribute. From the beginning, Shinoda's cerebral rhymes separated Linkin Park from their nu metal peers. He opted for pensive menace: "Things aren't the way they were before, you wouldn't even recognize me anymore," instead of Fred Durst-style misanthropic party starting. Behind the boards, Shinoda immediately proved himself a mechanic who understood and respected hip-hop. Listen to In the End for proof. Then listen to how it's transformed on Reanimation. Here comes Mr. Kurt's reworked stuttering beat on ENTHEND for this album. Even track titles get remixed. Hear how Motion Man's rhymes nearly make Bennington's essential hook an afterthought. Keep listening to experience Shinoda flex and talks it over the crackling, vinyl crate-borne backbeat of HVLTG3. By the time Charlie Tuna enters FRGT10, it's easy to forget this is a Linkin Park album at all. Its interlude-laden tracklist most resembles the big-scale hip-hop releases of that era, like The Eminem Show and Stankonia. Indeed, Reanimation is the sound of Linkin Park, giving back to the genre they lifted from, as Dan Weiss wrote in a recent Stereogum remembrance. Of course, not everything on it sounds like a gift today. The album is marred by its inescapable 2002-ness. Remember the Scratch-tastic Executioners, who collaborated with Linkin Park on the quintessential Rock time capsule It's Going Down. They're here, though all they do is mash up Hybrid Theory riffs explored more creatively elsewhere on the album. Key UFO suffers the same fate and ends up a stale remix of an already inessential track. If meticulous editing yielded Reanimation, these songs deserved prompt deletion. The same goes for some of the set's rock tunes, which it does have, by the way. By Myself, a brutal, assaulting Hybrid Theory cut, does not require an update, and yet we get by. Mylf, which dulls its sharpest tool Bennington's scream for more stodgy guitar. Noise courtesy of Deftones' Stephen Carpenter. WTH Greater Than You, oppositely, doesn't feel different enough from its source material. However, and this is important, Reanimation is likely the only album in existence to feature members of both Jurassic 5 and Stained. And while it certainly celebrates hip-hop, the nu metal heavyweights that complete the guest roster are not to be overlooked. Aaron Lewis brings the syrupy crawling rearrangement to its emotional climax. Korn's Jonathan Davis lends his manic aggression to a gauzy, stretched-out 1STPKLOSR. Stephen Richards of Taproot offers a new vocal melody to P5 Hing Me Away, which came to replace its namesake on future Linkin Park tours. Even Orgy's Jay Gordon handles a remix himself PTS of At T, released as the set's lead single, with a music video that got heavy MTV2 play. Coupled with the rap features, these heavier numbers slapped Reanimation with a rigid rap-rock tag, and their success allowed Linkin Park a way to push their sound forward on 2003's Meteora, and beyond. If Reanimation was the batting cages, Collision Course, the 2004 Jay's Linkin Park collaboration album, was Yankee Stadium. After proving they could work alongside rappers and that they understood the schematics of the genre including its commercial staying power, Linkin Park was apparently contacted by Jace for a potential team-up shortly after We Got Numb Core, the Grammy-winning partnership that ultimately made both songs definitive. Collision Course signified Rap Rick's highest post-TRL peak, and helped keep Jayz in the spotlight even after his post-Black album retirement. It helped Linkin Park, too, in finding a sustainable course forward, as alternative metal relented to more melodic pop on the charts. 2007's Minutes to Midnight embraced a softer musical palette. Shadow of the Day is one of Bennington's finest performances, with electronic influences they'd continue to pursue up to and including on the latest album, One More Light. And since then, they've continued expanding the roster of hip-hop collaborators. This year's Good Goodbye, featuring Pusha T and Stormzy, is certainly an EDM song and would sonically fit on Reanimation, but it retains that album's spirit of cross-genre partnership. The post-Reanimation world also coincided with a rise in what journalist Simon Reynolds calls record collection rock. In Lizzie Goodman's book Meet Me in the Bathroom, that is, music made by those with a deep knowledge of multiple genres and niche history, made possible by the internet. Imagine a parallel universe where Vampire Weekend's Ezra Koenig found inspiration in Nine Inch Nails instead of Talking Heads, then married that with his admiration of A Tribe Called Quest. You probably wouldn't get Reanimation, but you might get something close to Meteora. You might also get an utter catastrophe. And that's the point. 15 years and another remix LP later, it's clear no one could have made this album, still the top-selling hip-hop remix album ever, except Linkin Park and the Rolodex of co-conspirators. That's time very well spent on the tour bus.